Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. My name is Margaret, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you ways to sell thrifted jewelry or jewelry from jewelry jars, mystery boxes, garage sales, wherever, wherever you find jewelry. And I'm specifically focusing on selling jewelry that's not branded. There will be a couple pieces here that are, just because I want to share some other tips, but I get the question a lot, I find this jewelry and I think it's pretty, but I don't think it's going to sell because it doesn't have a brand name. I don't know how to list it. So I'm going to be sharing how to describe it and 3 different ways to list it. So I am doing this live just in case, as we're going along, people have questions, or sometimes I forget to mention things, so I can answer those as we go as well. Yesterday, I opened a ThredUp box of jewelry, and it was supposed to be 15 pieces. And I've already made a follow-up video for it because actually some of the pieces were really good and I didn't realize it. So I'm going to be following up with that, but I am sharing a couple of these pieces today. So I'm excited to be doing that with you. So hello, SG, and hello, Deborah. Thank you. I know, twice a week. I'm trying to be more consistent with my videos. So just to start off, I've been reselling and doing YouTube for over 10 years now. And one of the things that I like selling the most, I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger over here. There we go. One of the things I like selling the most is jewelry because it's easy to list, it's easy to store, it's easy to ship, everything. And there's really good profits in it. And so I wanted to share just a few of the recent sales. These are on Etsy, and I pulled these up because they're just the easiest ones to pull up, honestly. So this is what, it's the faux root beer amber lucite bead, blah, 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 blah. All of the keywords there, and it sold for 25 bucks. This is an open work rose brooch that just sold, I think, this past week. And I have had it listed for a while, though, but that's not usually the case when it, yeah. So anyway, this one sold recently, 25 bucks. So nothing to sneeze at, right? And then this scarf clip, this again, not branded, but if you know how to get your good photos and how to title it and everything, things will sell, right? And here are some anchor earrings. There was another necklace that I had pulled up that I just sold. Did I already show you this one? Yeah, this one sold this past week. Cellini spiral necklace sold for $60. So it is absolutely something that can sell really well. So hello. Hi. Love your buy, Jess. Hi. And it looks like you're a member of the channel. Thanks so much. I was actually just thinking earlier about how to do something special for the members of my channel because y'all have been with me for a while and need to step it up over here. All right. So yesterday, as I was saying, I opened this jewelry box and there were some pieces in it that either were not marked, like this. I've got a spare hair there. I would say bonus hair, but I know it's mine. So this necklace, it's just this crystal Rivoli necklace. It didn't have a maker's mark. It didn't have, you just think, oh, what am I going to do with that? Right? Meh. Or let's say you had something where maybe it had a mark on it, but you couldn't figure out what it is. Right? And so I'm going to share with you. So this was a bracelet too that we had yesterday. These are all from yesterday's. So this is a sterling silver, and on the back of one of the little hearts, it said 925, but during the video, I was like, I can't find a mark. Well, I eventually today found that there's a little piece here that was stamped, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So what I'm going to show you now is how to take a piece like this. And let's say you're like, I don't even know where to start for this, like pendant, necklace, crystal, right? And you're just like, I don't know how to make this work, because some pieces of jewelry have got, maker's mark, which gives you a good jumping off point. So what I'm going to do real fast, hang on, I have it open over here. 1 second. And then whenever I started the video, the reason it's some of y'all were waiting in the chat, and it took a second for me to jump on because my computer is like, you need to restart because we are caring about you. All right. this is interesting. I had pulled aside these images on purpose so that I wouldn't have to go digging around for them. But guess what's happening right now? I can't find them. Oh, mama. Okay, let me look one more time right here. Did I pull them aside? No. Well, it's time we can do this plan B. Gracious goodness. I was so prepared. I was so proud of myself, you guys. I was like, I have everything ready. I've got all my images ready. And now they're just not there. So, all right, we're just going to go with it. So, okay, I saw your question. I'm coming right back to that. I can't believe this. I really, really, really was so ready. And had everything like all squared away. All right, one more time. And then I'm looking, because I made a little folder for all the images. Well, there's one of them. Sort by name. How about that? Haha, there they are. Found it. Okay, so let's do this. Your question is, let me say hey real quick. Well, let me pull this over here. Here. All right, so yay, live chat. Very grateful. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. How do I clean jewelry before I sell them? So I would say a lot of times if it's clean already, I don't. So this one, it's not gross or anything. I mean, sometimes I'll get a jewelry jar and it's got this like, ewy, it feels kind of icky. So depending on what the material is, I might just take I want to say damp cloth, but something just like not even at I'll say damp, but you have your own definition of damp. So kind of just like wipe it down a little bit. I do have an ultrasonic cleaner. I don't use it very often because there are certain things we have to be careful that they don't come out of it. So it just depends on what the item is. And with like silver jewelry or things like that tarnish, sometimes I clean them and sometimes I don't. Hey, Joni. Let's see. I was into brooches pretty heavily. Yeah. They're hard to see. Exactly. All right, so let me pop this up. So what I've done here, let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Is I have an image that I took of this necklace, right? And it's not a fantastic image. And what I've done is I've gone to Google, right? And when you go to Google like this and you do a Google search, there's a little camera icon right here. And you click on the little camera icon and you can find the piece that you're wanting to search for by the image. So this way, if you're like, I have no idea how to describe this thing, like I feel like I'm hitting a brick wall, I don't know what to do. And a lot of times I and other sellers will say, go to eBay and search it and then like borrow from other people's titles or solds and things like that, which is great advice. But this way, if you're like, I don't even know where to start. So this Google image search, I did on my computer. There, you can do it on your phone as well. Okay, so then you scroll down and you see like, oh, okay. And this one actually, let's see if I find it this time, because it was here earlier. I was like, oh, the actual one was there. So you can see here, this one is on eBay. So I'm hitting, depending on what kind of computer you've got, you can open it in a new tab. So I have an Apple, so Command, and then I'm clicking the link. So it opens it up on another tab. And the actual necklace was here earlier when I was doing a separate video, but it's not right now. That's okay. So what I've done here is I've looked to see, well, what did they put? Vintage, faceted, clear crystal heart pendant necklace. Now, I mean, they could put free shipping. And if your shop pops up, please know I'm not picking on you, okay? At all. So doing something like this, and then I'll select part of the necklace, or I'll start part of the title, and then I'll come in and I'll take out, where was the word that said heart? Clear crystal. I'll take out heart and see what pops up from there. Okay, wow, no. So you can go that route and then come through the other things that pop up. Oh, this is the one. This is the exact same one right here. So this was the exact same necklace. So then you can come through and see what all different people have put in their titles. And then another really good thing to do is, So again, I'm not picking on anybody, but on the title here, like I would maybe use more of those characters, and I could go through some of these ones that are here. I know that drives people crazy too, these ones, and see what kind of keywords that they've chosen to use. And on eBay, so these are all up for sale right now. But if you scroll down, 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 and I think I saw somebody recommend this in the chat as well. If y'all have more ideas, definitely throw them in there. Come over to sold listings. And then, because these are the ones that actually were successfully sold. So while looking at the ones that are up for sale are fantastic to get ideas from, if you're wanting it to sell, come over here and see which of these keywords actually fits my item. Don't take things that don't fit, right? But other keywords that might also fit for your item in from sold listings. And these are from the last 90 days. So that is one thing. Let's see. I know I saw somebody in the do you recommend a specific gem tester model? Oh, hey, Nick Nack Twins. Love your channel so much. I use the Presidium gem tester. Yeah, that's the one I use. And I have a diamond tester too, but and that's what I started with when I first, I know I saw, when I first started, and I couldn't afford the Presidium gem tester, but it's my go-to. I love it. And Jack says similar pieces may have good keyword value. See, yeah, there we go. Great minds think alike. So that is one of the ways that I searched, right? So this is where I had everything ready. I was so proud of myself. I got all it ready. So the other item that we talked about yesterday, and if y'all watched yesterday's thread up unboxing, I was like so disappointed. I was trying to have a good attitude, but the video wasn't going well, and I went blah, 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 blah. I'm like, didn't get everything I wanted. As if you get to choose what you get out of a thread up box. But this necklace was in it. And this one actually is a branded necklace, and it's a Kate Spade. The reason I wanted to bring it up in this video is because it's promising, but not a lot has sold. So this is, again, is the Google search, because honest to goodness, even if you're like, I know this is a Kate Spade necklace. Okay, great. I see the brand. I see. But if you're just going into eBay and you're like, let's see how to describe this. Kate Spade necklace with gray facet stones and what do you like, you might stumble. I know I would. I'm like, how would I describe this? Right? And so being able to do an image search in Google or eBay, you could do it in eBay as well. But I think I like doing it in Google because it pulls up so much more on different platforms. So here on Google, you can see, oh, well, wow, this has actually got a name, Precious Petals Statement Necklace. Can we just say Precious Petals? I'm just trying to imagine the person with a straight face going into a business meeting like, I'd like to introduce you to my Precious Petals line of necklaces. Anyway, the things I get excited by. All right, so I can come over here, and when I saw this, I was like, wait a second, this is $125, $49. So you see the prices are kind of all over. I like to see how I told you like eBay, but here's Poshmark. And so you can see Mercari, different places. Kate Spade blue necklace. That would probably be what I did. Kate Spade blue necklace, done, right? So coming through here and seeing what keywords there are, but, and here's my but. So I'm going to open this one up on eBay, right? Kate Spade Precious Petals blue multi-earring. This one's got the earrings too. So I'm just going to do in blue multi. So I'm coming back here and I'm going to search it because I want to see which other ones are on eBay. And I did this earlier like a good girl to practice. And I see, oh yeah, look, $99, $49, $99. And then results with fewer matching words. Here it is again, $80. But when you go look at sold, guess what? No sold. So the reason that I'm bringing this one up, even though it's a named jewelry brand, is that I don't think the name is helping it. And I don't think that knowing that this is called Precious Petals is going to help it sell. So if I'm looking for this necklace and I'm like, I know I had this Kate Spade necklace, or even like I'm looking for a blue necklace kind of like this. Nobody's thinking, oh, this is from the Precious Petals line. I'm not saying that as if to say, like, don't put that in the title or don't put that somewhere. But I think that the characters in the title here could be better used in another way. So Kate Spade, Precious Petal, Statement Necklace in blue. And that's pretty much what all of them have as their title. And I'm not picking on anybody, but I was just thinking, what would I do? Because obviously I have to, I don't have to, but I'm going to sell this. Like, how do I make mine stand out amongst these others? So I'm going to start looking at other ways that I can tweak that title to think about, if I were looking for this necklace, what would I put into the search? Because Precious Petals is not going to be something I put in unless I specifically know that's what it's called. So that's my next tip. Now, don't ask me in this second what those words will be because I don't know yet. But I would just look and see, like, what other people, or I would type in parts of the title and see what else pops up. Look at those solds and see what pops up as far as that goes. So if I look over here, let's just do it real fast. Let's take out Kate Spade Precious Petals. I can't say it with a straight face. Sorry. It sounds like an 80s, like, it's okay. Honest to goodness, weren't there tampons back in the day that were like called something petals or something like that, ladies? I swear I remember commercials like that. So what I did was took out Precious Petals, and I'm professional. I'm a professional lady here. I need to stop giggling and see, like, what else would, this one's Petal Pushers. Stop it. Would kind of fit, and what could I use in order to, like, okay, rhinestones, right? This one is multicolor crystal statement necklace. So statement necklace, you know, so, something like that. I might come through and start looking at, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bib necklace, but looking to see, like, what else fits. You know, this one's similar. Like, what else have they got? Well, this one talks about, you know, it's got that gunmetal metal. So it's gold tone, but then the bat on this part, they're like black. So there's lots of different ways to try to get that, to try to get some better keywords in there, or some other keywords. And I would still use those words if I had enough space in the title. If not, I would make sure they're in the item descriptions on eBay and in the in my description box, right? All right. Statement piece. Yes, statement piece. All right. Then I had a few other examples that I thought we could look at, but it's probably overkill at this point. These were the earrings. Now, these I did, when I searched them, and y'all were here, if you were here for the unboxing, it does have the maker's mark on here, but even with my cheaters, and I could, for the life of me, I can't find my loop. And I have a number of them. I can't find them, but I couldn't really read it. And I had my other camera, and I think we figured out it looked like it said machete, but I wasn't sure. So another time that using this Google search really works well is I pop this in, and then, yep, sure enough, machete. And there are these earrings on eBay. On the Google search. And then the other neck bracelet I was going to show you was this charm bracelet. And once again, I didn't see that there was a maker's mark right here. When I was looking at it, I just saw on the back of the heart that there was a 925. But here I see that it is a Carol Lee piece. So that helps me a lot too. But this also works for, if you, did I save that one too? No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Here we go. If you can't read it, so even as I was trying to take pictures of the mark and I'm trying to figure it out, like I couldn't quite read it. So this is another time when having that image search can help you, especially if your eyes are getting older, like mine are. I don't like to admit it. But here, like, oh, okay, there it is. Carol Lee. Perfect. Now, let's talk, what were the other things I said I was going to talk about? Listing the items. And so I want to show you 3 ways that you can list that's pretty easily. Is there commercials on live? Oh, that is weird. Interesting. Okay. Just make it up. Yep. Postcard dealer named Mark sold a series of PC listed as postcard 1 through 20, sold them all. Yeah, that's awesome. Easy peasy, right? Sometimes you don't have to overthink it. Because if there are people that are looking for certain things, and I've had that happen where, and you probably have too, you list something and like, boom, right away. You're like, wait a minute, I just listed that. I already got an offer on it. I think there are people like collectors that have certain keywords where they get alerts. So when someone lists something new, they can go look real fast and see what it is so they can try to get it. What was it recently? And I listed it and it was like lickety split. I got an offer. I was like, dang, I should have had this up a long time ago. So there have been 2 so far. Holy moly. Okay, I got to look at that. I don't know about that. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm trying to think if I got the other stuff I said I was going to talk about before I move on. So I shared with you how to find it, how to get some other ideas for titles, but let's talk about listings. So there's 3 ways I was going to share with you. One of them, you guys shared some in the chat. Oh, I'm not sharing. Hang on, so you can see. So let's say I'm sharing my, I'm trying to sell my little crystal necklace that looks like this, right? And I can't find the same exact one, but I see this one over here, crystal pendant necklace. And I want to come through and see which all, like what has sold. I usually will go off sold listings for this. This one looks pretty similar and I wish it sold for more, but you know, whatever. Let's see. So let's just use that as an example because you can still tweak it. So let's say I'm going to pick this listing. It's already sold, but I can come over here and say, have one to sell? Sell now. And you click the little button and it will populate the title. And, you know, honest to goodness, I've had this question. Someone's like, isn't that cheating or you're stealing their listing? You're not taking their pictures. And eBay puts that there for a reason. You know, and I've said that before on like when I've told people, like if people are leaving ugly comments, I'm like, just delete it. And they're like, but isn't that killing their freedom of speech or something like that? I'm like, why does YouTube put a delete button there if you don't want you to delete it? You know, if it's spam or something like that, whatever, just delete it, right? Or hide it. There's a hide button too, if you want to. And then at this point, you just put your photos in. I've got some photos here. They're not wonderful because they're not, I took them kind of funky, but let me drop some photos in. Oh boy, see, it won't even let me on a couple of them. I need to fix it up. So I've got some photos. These I took just for the video and not for actual listing purposes, but we'll just go with it. So I want to look here and see, does this work for me? Vintage faceted crystal glass oval. No, it's circular. Actually, it's octagonal, isn't it? Because I didn't even realize that it was until I looked at this one. I was like, oh, look at the edges on that. So what's that? Is that an octagon? Yeah. All right. So we've got the octagon and it's a Rivoli, which I haven't seen anybody mention either. So on this stone, I don't know if you can see it in the photo where it's got that point at the top. So this is a Rivoli is the name of that type of stone. So I haven't seen that either. So I want to make sure faceted Rivoli, you know, and I'll put that, can y'all see that? And I'll tweak it in this way. Rivoli, crystal glass. It's not letting me add any more characters. Pendant. And then, so this, I have like, my chain is gold tone. right? And then I'll change this, right? The title. So basically, you just take one that is already sold. I must have misspelled Rivoli. Yeah. And go from there. Hang on. Ooh, I didn't realize that it was jumping. Two so far. I think it's a new thing. You noticed it weeks ago. Oh, with the commercials? Well, they're going to make their money. All right. So coming over to this point, I don't know if y'all can need me to continue on here. I don't want to do overkill, but you just start filling in. You know, I have store categories, so I would put it in my jewelry / necklaces. I also have pendants, so I can put it in both. Unbranded, chain and pendant. And then on this part, this is where I was talking about on the Kate Spade necklace. I would make sure to get the Kate Spade info all in this section. That's the item specifics. Isn't that what they call it? Yeah, item specifics. So then I just come through here and make sure all of this is matching gold tone. What mine is octagon, or do I want to put Rivoli? I don't know. I'll come through and mess around with it some more later. I'm going to clear that because I don't know what my measurement is. So you can add as little or as much here as you want. I don't always go through and add a ton of stuff here because it's very time consuming. So pre-owned. And then down here is where I put, and I'm really cut and dry for the most part. There's a time when I'm not. And most of the time I just take the title. I'm going to scroll. So if it makes you dizzy, look away, look away. I'll take the title and I'll make that my first line. And I make sure it's sort of like a little, I can't talk and type at the same time. It's like a template, but it's just the same thing. Condition, marks, brands. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I put here. And then I just keep it like just the facts, you know, and then I'll put my price, etc., etc. Let's see if there's any questions there. Yay! I'm so glad you made it. Hi. All right, so that's one of the ways that you can list. That's pretty easy, just going off of a sell one like somebody else has. Another way, how have I done this? A platform that I like to use, and this is List Perfectly. It is a paid platform. They have different levels, but I just wanted to show you like how neat some of it is. So if you're putting in, let's just use the same one and see what it does. I didn't play with this, so we'll see how it goes. But they have an express lister now, which I'm like saves me so much time. So, and if this is something you want to try, I think there's a trial or something, but I have a coupon thing down below where it's like List Perfectly, save 30% off, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so you pop in your, let me make me smaller, hang on. You pop in your pictures and there's this thing that says Listing Assistant and you click it. This is like you can choose your tone, like, oh, I want it. No, I don't even mess with that. And I just click launch and it creates the listing for me. This is what I said. Sometimes there is a flowery bit and it's only when I use this because it'll write like a little description. Now here with the title, here's the title that it gave it. And I can come in and add any words that maybe it missed or things that it didn't catch. And then it writes the whole description. Hang on, let me make this bigger so you can see it better. It writes the whole description. And if the measurements are in the pictures, it'll put the measurements there as well. I always check it because there have been a couple times where it's a little bit off. So, and then I always come in and make sure that I have put in the condition. Sometimes it'll catch the condition stuff. Like if it's a ceramic piece and the bottom's like scuffed up, it'll say. And then it'll even have keywords that if you're selling on Etsy as well. So it has keywords ready to go in and so on. And then you just put in your shipping. So it fills in all that stuff for you, right? It'll fill in all your shipping stuff, your price and everything. And then you just shoot it over and it lists it for you. So that's another way that I do. That's really fast. Was I just going to do a regular listing? Like, what was the third one? I had 3, you guys. This is what I get for not taking notes, right? And writing things down. So I guess if I remember later, I'll have to tell you because now I'm like, what was the third way? Maybe I was just going to show you a regular, let's list it and go for it. I'm looking to see, because maybe I was just talking really fast. I anticipated this lasting longer. Were there any questions before I'm stalling to see if I remember what the third way was that I was going to show you. It may have just been list it the best you can and type it out, but I don't think so. I feel like there was something else. How would you list it? Let me ask you that. How would you go about listing? So let's go back to maybe where was the Kate Spade one. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to scroll back so I can get there for you. But it's kind of the same. Like I was just saying, let's say I have this necklace and you just come down here to sell. Have one to sell? Sell now. And it fills it in. What are your thoughts, friends, on, because I mentioned this in another video that I was doing about this. And again, not picking on anybody, because I have used the product photos that the brand puts out. And this one does say new with tags, so fair game, right? But I saw a couple others that were pre-owned, but all the photos were the brand photos, like from the site, which I'm fine. I mean, and again, this is just personal preference, maybe, I don't know. But as a buyer, I would like to see like real, like this doesn't bother me, but also like real photos of it, right? So there's that. That I would do as well. Let's see. Jojo, hey, were you just talking about List Perfectly? I was, yeah. I was showing the listing assistant, because this saves me, oh my gosh. So what I do, and this is not a commercial for List Perfectly, but honestly, like because I'm a single mom, right? A single mom. This is how I make the living for us to live our life. I homeschool my kids. So it's like time is of the essence, homeschooling, trying to work, everything, right? And so I just take like a big bunch of photos, usually in the evening after the kids were just done. And I'm like, because I can't think to do a video, but I feel like I need to be working. So I come down and take a bunch of photos, right? And then I just upload them. Let me see if I can show you. I upload them into, where did that open? Into List Perfectly. And even if, like, I do it in different steps. Like, even if in the moment I can't get to listing right away, I'll like upload all my photos. So like this was a bunny rabbit thing. So I upload all my photos. And then the next day, when the kids are in the middle of something or they're at whatever they're at, then I'll come in and check the editing on the photos, right? Or then I'll come in and I'll do the listing assistant, and just go through, and I'll just do all the listing assistant. So it generates all the words and blah, blah, blah. And then in my next batch, I'll go through, make sure all the listing assistant is right. So it gives me a way to chunk my work out. Because it's hard for me to switch gears, as many of you know, if you've watched me for any length of time. And it gives me a way to be like, okay, all I'm doing now is uploading my photos. Okay, next, make sure every photos look all good and in the right order. Next, and this may usually not in the same sitting. Next, I'll go in and do listing assistants, and just whatever it says, I just move on to the next one. Then the next day or next chunk of time I have, I'll check in, make sure it looks good. And then I'll check pricing, and go. So I do it in that way so that I can, it's like when I like to take photos of stuff, I like to get all of let me get all the rings that I want to list, or I'm doing all candlesticks today, right? So I don't have to think about, whoa, I forgot to get the mandrel out to measure the ring size, or if I'm switching from stained glass to rings to candlesticks to this to that. So if I'm working on games, because my brain, and that's just me, I have ADHD pretty severely, and so it's like I need to have things organized in that way, or I can't yeah. So Jojo, it's not working for you? The description part? I don't know. Yeah, this was just today. I just did some of these today. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Maybe I should look at how I described this video. What did I say else? I think that was it. So I hope that you found this helpful. Unlisted jewelry, not unlisted jewelry, I was about to say unlisted jewelry does sell. No, it does not. So it does need to be listed for it to sell, usually. And unless you've got a friend that comes over and is like, I'm going to buy that. But unbranded jewelry will sell. If you have it labeled correctly. There was another piece of jewelry I was going to share with you. It's kind of like the Kate Spade one. It's in the same vein of like, so this is this Lily Pulitzer one, right? And what I noticed, and again, not picking on anybody, is that when I looked at eBay, oopsies, I didn't open up the right thing. When I looked over, it didn't open it again. Hang on, let me open eBay. Not picking on anybody, not picking on anybody. I'm coming over and I'm searching. So, and I talk about this in the other video, that Lily Pulitzer Poinsettia Red Island vibes. The thing about that is, just like with whatever precious petals, like the necklace that this is, I don't want to pick on anybody, and because I'm not. This necklace is not a poinsettia. It's not red, and it's just that the name of the box and the line this was from was called Poinsettia Red Island Vibes. But that doesn't tell me what this necklace is, right? So when I'm looking to go sell mine, you better believe I might put Lily Pulitzer Poinsettia Red Island Vibes in my item descriptions, but nowhere in here has anybody put the word leaf, right? Or, crystal leaf bling, whatever, how you would describe that, right? So I was looking at the solds, and there were none sold of it, right? Oh, look, there's one sold now. I swear to you, hand up that there were none sold when I did I was recording a video. There's one that sold. I'm eating my words again. But look, they put palm frond. Okay, good job. Good job. And why do you think that it sold? Not because it said poinsettia, because that's not a poinsettia and it's not red. So there, I proved my own point. So make sure that even if you're going off of other listings, like think about like, ooh, why haven't any of these sold? Oh, well, okay. Nowhere does it say cruise, tropical, and here's what I want to know too. Speaking of titles, not the title of the seller put, but who at Lily Pulitzer is like, we should call this one low tide, because everybody has positive vibes when you think of low tide. What do you think of when you think of low tide? Okay, I grew up with Galveston as my beach. Low tide stinks. Okay, I'm not going to name a piece of jewelry I want people to buy and feel pretty in. Low tide. Seems like they copy. Yeah, and they may have just copied Lily Pulitzer's, which is great, because then if somebody's on their website, that they're at Lily Pulitzer because they want to buy that brand, right? What platforms I'm at right now? I'm doing eBay and Etsy. Before I moved from Texas to Colorado, I was on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace. And I did cross post to all of these platforms. And then when I got moved and I finally got things up and running here, I started trying to get back on all the platforms and realized I was demolishing myself. It was too much. And I didn't have my feet under me, but I was trying to hit the ground running, and, absolutely having yourself out on as many platforms as possible is great. But I just had to realize realistically for me, with everything else I have going on, it wasn't feasible in the moment. Yeah. So now I'm just on eBay and Etsy. I'm doing those. I'm doing print on demand. YouTube, finally getting back onto YouTube, and trying to think what else I'm doing for making money. So those are the main things. I really like selling on Etsy and eBay, of course. So many. Yeah, and the thing about Poshmark for me was that I would get maybe one sale a week or so. It just wasn't worth it. Mercari, same way. I mean, so when I was selling and looking at like which platforms were hitting the most, eBay, Etsy, depending on Q4, usually Etsy's over eBay. And then depending Facebook Marketplace, because sometimes local sales, that when I was doing more local sales stuff, and then Mercari and Poshmark was at the bottom. So yeah, that was just personally, that's where it went for me. I'm not doing as much Facebook Marketplace local sales because again, time, right? So I think that's it. I hope that this video was very helpful for you. And if so, it really does help me and help my channel. And it's free to go down and hit a like, or if you're watching later, to leave a comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'm so glad that you were able to come hang out. And I do have some other follow-up videos from the ThreadUp box because I went through and priced everything out and I wanted to share what kind of profits I'm going to be able to make. I guess I didn't pay as close attention when I bought the ThreadUp box that it was $60 for this. And it wasn't a DIY. It was a ThreadUp. What do they call it nowadays? Designer box. It's supposed to have 15 pieces in it. Mixed jewelry. That's what it's called. And it was $60 and I bought 3 of them. And so I've got 2 more I haven't opened yet over there, but I will be able to make a profit on them, which is the important thing. Does Etsy take a while to get established selling thrifted items? I guess it just depends. I don't want to say no because I started Etsy like 10 years ago with vintage items. But maybe I need to do a video about that. I don't know. But I feel like as long as you've got on Etsy, hang on, let me pull up my Etsy so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I don't think so. How do I view my store? I don't want to complete my account. I just want to look at my store. Complete my account. I've been on here forever. So hang on, let me hide this. I would say like as long as you've got your first page filled to make it look like how many is that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like 12 rows of 4. So having like 48 to 50 items to start so that your shop doesn't look empty, right? And if you are interested, I have it down in the description box, but you can get 40 free listings if you haven't started yet. And I also put it on my Etsy page. So it's free. It says 20 cents on here, but you don't have to buy it. It's just like go to the link and you click it and if you are opening a new shop, which I do, I have like 4 Etsy shops because one is like vintage stuff like this, my main shop. Oh, I have it hiding now. But then I have a print on demand shop and I think I have 2 print on demand shops and I have a digital downloads for like homeschool stuff, or sometimes I'll do, what's the word? Advent calendar. You know, when you have an advent calendar and you want to have little activities and stuff. And so you just put them on little cards and fold it up. And some people just want to buy one and download it. And so I've had it up there for like a million years. So same thing with some of the school stuff. Some of it was from when I was teaching kindergarten, like the calendar pieces. I would make my own calendar pieces to put in. And I still like to this day get digital downloads from here and there's a site called Teachers Pay Teachers. So if I do stuff with the kids that I make, I'm like, I put it on Teachers Pay Teachers. And even if it's $2 here, $5 there, I'm like, that's a carton of eggs, right? That's a loaf of bread. So I don't turn my nose up at anything. All right, that got way off topic. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Bye.